Hi, this is my motion analysis presentation on a wrestling shot. So motion analysis programs will be used to evaluate the athlete's shooting technique, and based on this, I will identify errors and help communicate this to the athlete. A wrestling shot is the base of many different wrestling techniques, and it is the most fundamental wrestling move. It is definitely the first thing any wrestler will learn. About the athlete participating in this program, Jaden Senadoza is a freshman on the South Tahoe wrestling team, and he is a vigorous athlete that also participates in football and track. Wrestling is one of his strongest sports, and he was second place in the Tawneva Wrestling Championships his 8th grade year, even wrestling with a fractured wrist. So, when I first took videos of his shooting form, I compared it to a professional, and I noticed that there were three main issues with his form. One, his shoulder level. So his leading shoulder was too high and it was more square to the mat rather than him leading with his shoulder on the same side of his leading foot and having that shoulder at lower level. His weight distribution was too far back, and then his finish was too tall. He should be finishing in his wrestling position, but instead he was standing up towards the end. So in these pictures, you can see better that here, his shoulder on the same side of his leading foot is at an angle, lower angle than his back shoulder, and Jaden's are equal and they are square. And then weight distribution at the point where his back leg is mostly extended. The majority of his weight is focused over this leading foot, and there's a smaller angle between right here. And then on Jaden's, at the same point with that leg extension in the back, his weight is still um, more towards the back of his body or kind of centered. And his his leading leg isn't as bent as the professional athlete. So his weight needs to be moved forward. And then his finish, rather than finishing in a stance like the athlete is here, he is finishing standing up and he's way too tall. So after communicating these to the athlete, I would have him practice taking his shots for 4 times a week for 2 weeks. And I'd help keep the athlete focused on pointers. So anytime he was kind of just taking shots randomly and like wasn't specifically focused on, hey, I need to lower my leading shoulder, or I need to finish in my stance, I need to fix my weight distribution, I would help remind him and help keep him on the right track to make these corrections. So before, this is the video compared to the athlete, and you can't see it that well right in this one, but if you slow it down, you can see that Jaden is a lot more square forward rather than leaning into it as the other athlete is here. So let's see. After the top row of the after shots, and then these are again the same beginning shots that I showed previously. So afterwards, you can see that his leading shoulder is lower. His weight at that point where his back leg is extended is far over his front foot, and he's finishing in his stance. So it's a lot better than the initial shoulders here, the weight distribution here, and his finish. So we go back to the after videos where I also compared it the same way I did with the before videos. You can see that their shots are a lot more similar than they were in the beginning. And then when I compare these two videos, here's full speed of this is the slowed down one of his two shots, his beginning one on top, and then again his after on the bottom. So you can see that his starting and you can see the differences between his starting and his ending. And then on his, this is it at full speed right here. So you can see that this shot is a lot cleaner than his beginning shot. So That is it for my presentation, but I'm hoping that this is helpful and that it can help any other wrestlers and that hopefully this will improve his form and help him improve throughout his future seasons. Thank you.